My name is Adria Vogt. I am the President and CEO for the Charlotte Museum of History, and we're here today at the historic Siloam School, which is a 1920s era African-American schoolhouse in the university area of Charlotte. So this school represents one of the 7 remaining Rosenwald schools in Charlotte and Mecklenburg County, and those are the oldest African-American schoolhouses that still remain in our county. Now, the Rosenwald story is very important because it represents both a time of segregation and a concept of reconciliation and working together across racial lines and ethnic lines, things that have divided us in the past, things that we're working to improve today. So this building really represents the roots of how we got to now as Charlotteans. It represents our identity and our legacy. The Charlotte Museum of History is proud to partner with the city of Charlotte, with Mecklenburg County, with many community partners, including the Silver Star community, tribute companies. We also are getting support from Aldersgate community. So we have a lot of partners that are coming together to support this project, and we feel it's just very important as a story to tell to preserve this history here in Charlotte.
Well, first of all, today is an exciting day in that Mecklenburg County presented a check to the Siloam School Restoration Project in the amount of $125,000. And that was actually significant, primarily because Mecklenburg County does not have a way to preserve historical buildings, and we wanted to help participate so that we could preserve this particular building because of the significance that it had in Mecklenburg County. In the 1920s, African Americans attended the school. It was a Rosenwald design, designed by the late founder of Sears and Roebuck, where he and Booker T. Washington got together and decided to build these schools to educate the black community. And so I'm just happy that we're preserving this one for historical purposes and as educational purposes, so that children in the future will have an opportunity to come and see the type of schools that our foreparents attended, and maybe it will spark something within them to help them understand the value of getting a really good education.
Now, we really feel like, again, this is going to show children not only how grateful they should be for our modern education systems, but also, again, showing what children went through just 100 years ago just to be educated. So when we did the Hidden History tour of other Rosenwald schools in Mecklenburg County, we had some of the alumni for the McClintock School come out and talk to us about what it was like to grow up in the segregated South and what it was like to have a resource like a Rosenwald school. So on one hand, while this is much improved from previous architectural structures such as corn cribs and log structures that African American students would have been educated out of, this was a major improvement with this new type of architecture that was really catered to help educate students in an era without electricity in the building, without running water. These students really took care of this structure, the community took care of this structure, but the students, the alumni from McClintock, were able to tell us a little bit about what it was like to walk past the white schools on their way to their Rosenwald school, the McClintock school. And they got to see that students had gym equipment, they had a basketball court, they had a cafeteria, they had all of these resources that they as African American students didn't have, and they had to walk past those schools every day and see that inequity firsthand. So this is in living memory. This is in people who are able to tell this story in living memory. This is not in some distant past that should be forgotten. So that's part of why we want to preserve this school, but also, again, to foster that dialogue about how we improve conditions of inequity in Charlotte today, especially in our education systems, and what we're doing to create a brighter future for education in Mecklenburg County.